technical difficulties. Yeah, it's a great intro, technically. All right, we got a virgin here. Yeah! Word up! Whipple's in the house! Right? Yeah, you know, wubble in a tub-tub! Okay, so listen here, Morty. I'm gonna teach you some shit, Morty, because life is gonna fuck you, and it's gonna fuck you hard without lube, Morty. I'm telling you, you know, he's gonna rape you, and you didn't want to be here. So, yeah, anyway, so, Whipple is actually, this is kind of getting into my OCD. Whipple is my name, actually, like my last name, you know, last name Whipple, first name Daniel, but my rapper name is Dwhip. And as I've been told in the middle of Costco, like, you haven't been whipped until you've been de-whipped. You know, that's the end of the fighting act. So, anyway, yeah, as you kind of guess, I like to play with my name. You know, whipple while you work, whip a ball bat. But it started kind of back when I was teaching myself Photoshop on a computer, and my friend's over from school, and my dad's visiting, and I just tune in just in time to hear my dad say, yeah, back in school they called me Nipple. And I look at my friend, and he just kind of has this exorcist rotation on his head, just like, and he's like got this possession in his eyes, and he's like, Nipple. I'm like, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. You know, that basically, no, hang on, I got too many pages here. So yeah, oh, right, yeah, anyway. So yeah, I couldn't be anything but annoyed. He's my best friend, you know, and all the bullies in high school actually came up with whoop, whoop, whoople, and I'm like, okay, well, I grew up riding horses, come on. Grew up riding horses, so whoop, whoop, right? You know, anyway, all right, so let's move it on. I've got this thing called media Tourette's. I've dubbed it, you know, it's a movie Tourette's. Basically, you know, I kind of have this compulsive thing where if I go and actually, like, you know, maybe meet a woman and her baby, I'm like, you know, this reminds me of the Babe. And she looks at me, she's like, what Babe? And I'm like, it's the Babe with the power. And then she looks at me and it's like, what power? And then it's like, you're being taken seriously, and you don't know whether to back off or break out in song and dance. Like, it's a magic spell to use. Okay, anyway. So, all right, let's warm up. Well, I haven't warmed up yet, technically. I got my quick quips, or my whip quips, or my quick quips. So let's start with something political, right? Yeah? Okay, no, fuck it. All right, no, wait, okay. So, no, this is my Putin puppet right here. You see this? My Putin puppet. You picture him, right? Picture Trump, right? Yeah? What you don't want to picture is my hand up his ass. Oh, it's kind of squidgy. All right, so, but then another whip quip. Is my random thoughts at work. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, one of these days, if I keep pushing hard enough, they're just gonna fucking find me dead on the toilet. Alright, okay. So, anyway, we've actually warmed up. We've moved into page 3. Boo! So, these days, things are crazy with our electronics, right? You know, we can do just about anything. We actually have mobile VR porn where you can just take it anywhere and just be like, you know... Woo! You know, but then we also have teledildonics. Honestly, don't get me started on teledildonics. But let's just start with Japan. In Japan, they have this blowjob machine. No, wait, bro. The sperm donation machine. It's literally a machine you kind of step up to, you kind of jack your junk in, and it freaking sucks you off, and then you provide a donation. There's
out of the way.
It's such convenience. There's like, let's take it a step further. Let's actually, let's put it in, because, you know, religious people are very pro-life, right? You know, so let's put it in church bathrooms, you know, and call it the glory hole. Maybe. You know, or you could install it in the public transit system, you know, and you know, you actually just, you know, put it in, pay for your daily transit, you know, go to work with a smile on your face every day. That's the by and large way, believe it or not. Okay, so that's my media Tourette's. I get a lot of this, that was Wally. What? Anyway, so, so last one is a phone service. Let's hook it up to phone networks and actually make it so you run out of your minutes, you know, you just kind of pop it in, provide a deposit, make a mother, and call your grandmother at the same time. Like, but then prisons. No, wait, no, that's a bad idea. Sorry, that's a bad idea. Anyways, let's get to the pesto resistance. Pesto resistance. I've done in school. I've done a lot of school. Yeah, I've been a part of CR. I've been a part of HSU. I've done a lot of studies, and I'm so freaking tired of it. But in my studies, I had to do psychology, and I did addiction studies, and I basically had to create a new focus that I call dopamine drive addiction. So what does that mean? You know, right? You know, we got two, let's just let's break it down just a little. Back in 1952, we have two science dudes, Old and Milner. They actually tried to put an electrode in the reticular formation of a rat's brain, and when it went in, it actually bent and hit the hypothalamus, and that rat would literally sit there and push that button 1,000 times an hour in lieu of food and water. They'll like sit there and be like masturbating, just like, you know, let's try from this position, let's get that over there, just maybe lay down. Something like that, you know. So they found that, you know, basically, you know, we've got this compulsive, like, we can electrically, like, just, boom, you know, get one off, right? So, okay, let's get to the mid-90s right now. We've got viable implants for paraplegics, which is really awesome because it actually puts it right here in the base of your spine, so you can push a button and just get one, you know? Just push your button and get one, you know? You're at work, you're like, you know, and then, you know, ultimately I call it my boomstick. Boom. Alright, so, yeah, Bruce Campbell. So anyway, we're still in the mid-90s, right? And Harvard actually realized we've done some studies, and we've discovered that dopamine in our brain is not actually pleasure itself, but the anticipation of pleasure. Because if you say randomly give a primate, a human being, or an animal a reward, a mammal, they'll actually produce dopamine. So they're like, oh wait, we actually think that dopamine is a part of rewards. So so basically it comes down to that. Basically they were like, okay, let's set it up, let's break it down. We got our signal work reward study, and they actually found dopamine was elevated during the signal phase, stayed elevated, and subsided when you got the reward. So in itself, Pavlov saw a physiological response of this, basically, and he just kept ringing that bell to make that dog drool, that poor little bastard. You know, so yeah, anyway, so, you know, we literally got this this ding, the dopamine response, you know, and that's where girlfriends come in, and they're like, you know, maybe you're going to get sex tonight, and you're like, what? You know, bing, you're actually elevated, you're driven to go through the work, and it subsides when you get the reward, which is, you know, a double plus. But, you know, with that maybe factor, it actually goes and doubles in its amount of production. They actually become that Pavlov's dog that whines, you know, and basically, you know, hang on. Oh, right. You know, and he's ready. He's ready to follow any of your command. He'll roll over. He'll sit, roll over, vacuum, do the dishes, and play dead. You know, and come on, ladies. You know what happens when post-mortem occurs? So anyway, so humans are different in the sense that animals basically will not drive themselves for decades without a reward. We basically will elevate these high levels of dopamine without a reward, and animals at a certain point will just emote a fuck this shit and get the fuck out of here kind of thing. So it came down to that these studies actually brought me to Parkinson patients, and it's mostly in old folks. And in old folks, when they're Parkinson patients, they actually need artificial dopamine. And basically, that artificial dopamine helped them not have the shakes. Because when you have too little dopamine, you have the shakes. When you have too much dopamine, you have what I call reefer madness. I mean, schizophrenia. So, you know, when that artificial dopamine occurred, they basically started developing bad habits. Compulsive gambling, compulsive sexual addiction. So you just kind of, you know, you wonder about, you know, why this is important, because grandma is literally like, she's just walking through, she just throws her rocker, or a walker, freaking jumps on grandpa, and it's like, come on, grandma, it's Christmas. And you're just like, ugh. I didn't know bodies could move like that. But yeah, so the important part is when you actually cut out that dopamine, when you remove the artificial dopamine, boom, the behaviors stop. So at this point, basically, I have a concern, because I'm not worried about druggies in the future. I'm worried about implant junkies. You know, because you're going to have this guy homeless on the street, and he's going to be coming up to you being like, come on, man. My fucking TAs are down. I'm like, OG machine is on the fritz. Can you spare some lithos? Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Keep it going for Dwhip. I didn't know we had a neurosurgeon in the house. That was a lot of science talk. Talking about neuroreceptors and stuff. Hey, buddy, you forgot your drink, my dude. Dwhip. Yeah. All right. Well, out of all that, I heard him mention